You know, it certainly is sod busting. You were able to sit down and have a conversation with people who had traveled to Europe, England, Ireland, where they would be confronted with traditional styles of beer. And also home brewers were very engaged in a conversation. So it wasn't as if we didn't have anybody to talk to. But certainly the population of people who wanted to talk about styles of beer, you know, that population was pretty minuscule. So you're breaking new ground in that regard. And then you're hoping like hell to have as many conversations, and fruitful ones, as possible. As much as possible. You really wanted to build on those conversations. Now that was a pretty gradual progression until maybe 10 years ago when a larger number of brewers got into business, and then it became kind of fab and hip to talk about beer. But that's also when the beer experts came into the scene. You know, it was still pretty superficial conversation. So when it comes to traditional styles and classical styles, I always kind of look for depth. Just out of respect for the whole brewing industry. When I kind of listen to the content of conversations today about beer, it's either about glitter, cool names, attitude, but not a lot of depth in beers. You know, like I've said before, I really wanted to move the needle by starting a new brewery, and that needle really hasn't been moved that much further over 35 years. And when you sit down and talk to somebody about what's selling, and when the volume of consumption of Busch Light is off the charts, that also means there's a hell of a lot more conversations that can happen too. Right? So I'm not just kind of picking on some of these microbrewery experts and stuff like that. It's a universal educational process that's still ongoing.